floor of the Ebbets Field houses. Lieutenant John Martinson led the way as they moved down the hall to find the source of the fire, while another unit headed to the floor above to try to knock it down. The call came in around 7:14 Thursday night, and they'd arrived about 3 minutes later to find heavy smoke pouring out the window of an apartment. The smoke was blinding the closer they got to the apartment, whose tenants had fled. Firefighters struggling elsewhere in the 25-story building say they eventually began hearing frantic radio transmissions as two members of Martinson's unit started running out of air. The two managed to borrow air from other firefighters, trading masks back and forth so they could breathe. The pair got out, exiting the building without realizing their boss had been left behind in the confusion. Meantime, firefighters working on the 15th floor were hearing desperate maydays coming from Lieutenant Martinson, who was losing oxygen. They prepared for a rope rescue in case he was trapped and they needed to get him out through the window. But they abandoned that idea and headed down to the fire floor, slowed by waves of heat and smoke. Several members bailed out because they, too, ran out of air. Finally, Martinson was located. A lot of time had elapsed. It was 7:45. He'd collapsed about 15 feet inside the apartment with his mask off and several burns on his face. He was placed on a stretcher and taken on an elevator to the street, where the first of at least 5 firefighters tried to resuscitate him. Martinson was taken to Kings County Hospital, where he died. Friday, officials say they determined the cause of the fire. The family from the apartment had been using the stove for heat, and a 6-year-old boy had put a piece of wrapping paper into the flame. When it caught fire, to avoid getting in trouble, he stuck it under a bed. Amanda Farinacci, New York 1.